Good afternoon, brethren. This is Big Judah coming to you guys from California. Before I begin, we give all praises to the Most High, Yahweh. Also acknowledge the earthly mother, who is wisdom, who is the Holy Spirit. Also acknowledge Yahweh Shai. I pray that the Most High blesses this lesson today and gives us more understanding of the events of the past, the things that are currently happening on the earth, and the things that are soon to come to pass. As we keep on looking at the Most High dealing and bringing retribution on the earth, slowly but surely, many people are starting to realize that the Most High wasn't playing, and that His words are coming to truth. We're starting to see Him move on this nation in the middle of the country, where many of our brethren had their lands taken away from them violently, and they were never compensated. And the Most High is now, making it so that people realize that when you treat His people with such disdain, you treat them wrong, that there is going to be a hell to pay for that. I know it's been such a long time that the Edomites and the other nations never thought that they were going to have to pay. Never thought they would see the end of their reign or the end of their kingdom. But I'm here to see, and many of us are here, and we can see that the Most High wasn't playing, and that He is starting to bring a lot of that recompense and destruction that that's been written in the scriptures. With this flooding, I was looking at a video this morning from Lisa Cabrera that was talking about how people on the Arkansas River were going to see, pretty much all the big communities are going to see massive flooding over the next 7 to 10 days on top of what they already have. And, there's a dam here in California, in Oroville, that's almost at the top. And I don't know, I think over 900 feet is the actual cresting of the dam, from what I believe. And I want to say that the dam is about 894, almost 895 feet. And then the snow melt, I guess, is double. The snowpack is double what they thought it was going to be. So usually, I guess, one of the people who takes care of the dam said when it usually gets around 850 feet, they wanted to release water in order to leave 50 feet of space to be able to capture the snow melt. Well, the snow melt, I guess, is still double the size it usually is, and we only have about 5 to 7 feet before it comes to the top of the dam. So then this will eventually put a lot of peril to all of these communities that are pretty much in the path of the water from the dam. So you're starting to see the Most High moving in all these different directions with the weather. And what's amazing to see is that the other nations they refuse to believe that the Most High is in charge of this. They want to believe still, and they're still pushing the still narrative about the elites, and that they're doing this with weather modification, and they're doing this to bring down the population of the world in order for them to have their own utopia. And that's what we've been led to believe for all this time. And we're going to talk a little bit more about the things that are going on as far as in the Midwest, and the food prices, and them trying to them not being able to plant their crops, and some of the ramifications in the future for us. But what we have to understand is that the other nations never want to give credit to the Most High. They want to believe that they are in control of absolutely everything at all times. During the good times, they want to make it sound like it's something that they've done to enjoy this or to earn this. Never giving praise to the Most High for giving them their run or giving them their opportunity. They always want to act like it's always something that they've earned, they've worked hard for. They're come with these ingenious weapons in order to be able to subdue the earth. subdue the whole world. When in reality, it was the Most High giving them their blessing. And then, when they got their blessing, then they took on the role of being the priests of the world and thinking they can tell us how to make it into heaven, you know. And but these are nothing but empty vessels who are incapable of understanding the Most High. And as you can see, they're incapable of giving praises to the one who's actually given them the blessing for the time. So we're going to get into this right now, especially talking about the Georgia Guidestones. You hear that quite a bit. We talk about people in conspiracy theories and things of that matter, about how the elites are in charge of everything and how they want to depopulate the world from 7 billion down to 500 million, and this in order for them to be able to and pretty much create this utopia that they're going to enjoy. But there's actually 10 tenets that this is on this Georgia Guidestone. And when you actually look at it, just a couple of them alone lets you know for sure that this isn't the elite's plan. This is the Most High's plan. But when people don't understand the scriptures, then, they listen to whatever it is that they hear. With a lot of these conspiracy theories and things like that, like they have some kind of control over everything. But we know the Most High is just bringing a very slow and painful destruction to Esau and the other nations that have been confederate with him. All right. Now, like this is so true. And I mean, when people try to talk to me about trying to, have a debate about scriptures, I always tell them, hey, you know what? First and foremost, who were the scriptures given to? If the Most High never gave the other nations the scriptures, then our conversation is already done. If you can't prove to me that Gentiles and Esau have some kind of authority over our scriptures to be able to teach us, if you can't prove it, then we have nothing to talk about. I don't waste my time anymore with people like that. The Most High knows exactly who he gave the scriptures to and who he gave the blessing to be able to have the Holy Spirit guide those people. So when I hear people trying to break down, the elites are running this and the elites are running that, and they, they know what's going to happen in the future and this and that, I said, no, they don't. So the only thing they know is what the Most High lets them know. All right. So nobody that did this to your ancestors can show you the way to heaven. People who do things like this can't show you the way to heaven. And when you start doing more research and looking at a lot of things that they've done in the past, there's no way that these kinds of people have any relationship with the Most High. None at all. Right here is a picture of the Georgia Guidestones that they try to use as showing how the elites have all these plans for the future. But like I said, we're going to prove today, just by taking a look at a couple of these things that's written on here, so that you know that it's not the Most High. I mean, it's not the elites, but it's the Most High who's executing his judgment on the world, and not some grand utopia that the elites, are planning for the future. But this is all just a ploy to keep people asleep. That's pretty much what these, these demons, and their whole job is to keep people asleep. And we're going to talk about that a little bit also. Right here is a message right here. It's consistent of a set of 10 guidelines or principles is engraved on the Georgia Guidestones in 8 different languages, one language on each face of the 4 large upright stones, clockwise around the structure from due north. These languages are English, Spanish, Swahili, Hindi, Hebrew, Arabic, traditional Chinese, and Russian. So the one that you start hearing about a lot of conspiracy theories always talking about is they want to maintain humanity under 500 million in perpetual balance with nature. All right. Well, something that people need to realize is the Most High already said that he was going to pretty much depopulate the planet. He says that in his own book. Didn't necessarily give an exact number as to how many people he was planning on getting rid of. But he's already let us know that his plan is to pretty much diminish many of the people, get rid of many of the people. that are on the planet. So this is not an elite's plan. This is a plan of the Most High. Let me show you. Let's go to 2nd Esdras, chapter 8, verse 1. I think I'm going to read probably 1 through 3, I'm thinking here. Let me see. Let's at least go to 1. Read that first. And he answered me, saying, the Most High hath made this world for many, but the world to come for few. So this world, for all these demons and all these empty vessels, this world was made for you to be able to enjoy all your blessings in it right now. But the world to come is for few. Let me continue here. I will tell thee a similitude, Esdras, as when thou askest the earth, it shall say unto thee, that it giveth much mold whereof earthen vessels are made, but little dust that gold cometh of. Even so is the course of this present world. There be many created, but few shall be saved. So the Most High has already showed you that his plan does not include saving many people. So if we have a world full of 8 or 7 or 8 billion people, the Most High has no intentions of keeping that many people around. So when you start looking at number 1, to maintain humanity under, 500 million in perpetual balance with nature, that's there lets you know right already that he's planning on getting rid of a whole lot of people when he comes back. All right. Another one. Let's see. Let's take a look at number 5. Protect people and nations with fair laws and just courts. Now, pretty much since Esau has been in charge, he already talked about making laws and things of that matter for his benefit, in order for him to be able to enjoy his blessing. And that's also spoken of in Wisdom of Solomon chapter 2, about pretty much making, the laws in order for him to be able to enjoy his blessing. Let's see here as 2nd Esdras chapter 2. Let's go to 10. Let us oppress the poor righteous man. Let us not spare the widow, nor reverence the ancient gray hairs of the age. So they're already going to oppress all these people. And how are they going to do that? Let's go to 11. Let our strength be the law of justice, for that which is feeble is found to be nothing worth. So they made laws in order to oppress us. And on the last couple of videos, I talked about that with the whole GI Bill, with the FHA funding, with the Wagner Act, and taking our Indian Removal Acts, head right laws. They've pretty much, since we've been here, the laws have been made for them to be able to oppress us, dumb diverse us when they sent the Spanish over here, in order to pretty much put our people in perpetual servitude. So if you look at number 5, to protect people and nations with fair laws and just courts, the other nations and the elites already had their opportunity to do that. When the Most High gave them their opportunity, what did they do with that time, with that power? They made unjust laws, pretty much the opposite of what it says there. They made unjust laws, unfair laws, and unjust courts in order to put our people in slavery. So that's right there. That's not something that they're trying to do. But see, when you listen to a lot of Edomites and other nations that are trying to break this down, they only pretty much talk about number 1 and the depopulation part, but they don't look at the other things that this says. Take a look at number 10. Now, this one for sure lets you know that this is not a plan of elites, but this is more of a plan of the Most High. Be not a cancer on the earth. Leave room for nature. All right? Leave room for nature. Now, we know when the Edomites and the Gentiles came over here to this land, they found an absolute paradise. So if they had any intentions of not being a cancer on the earth and leaving room for nature, all they had to do was just enjoy what the Most High had already created over here. Not only did they have free reign over the land, our people were also bowing down to them and doing anything that they wanted in order to make them happy. So they didn't need to destroy or burn villages, kill, mutilate, and destroy our people. Our people were willingly giving them the gold that they had, willingly giving them the food that they wanted, willingly giving them the land, that they had for them to be able to use it for their own benefit. So if that was their intentions back then, was to not be a cancer on the earth and leave room for nature, they already had that opportunity. And what did they do with that opportunity? They squandered it for gold, silver, and slavery, and stealing our resources and putting us in slavery. You see that? So, like I said, when you start looking at this, I can go into a couple of other ones, but I'm not going to get into all that right now. Just those three alone lets you know that this is not something that the elites have planned. This is more so something that the Most High has planned. He's going to bring population down. He's going to create a much more fair system. Okay? His law, statutes, and commandments for people to live by. He's not going to have us be a cancer on the earth and, taking advantage of the resources on the earth. He's going to teach us how to live, in harmony with the earth, like we did before the Edomites and the Gentiles got here. And there's plenty of other things that we can probably talk about too. I'm not saying that all these things here is what the Most High is going to be doing, but just by looking at a couple of them, you can already see this is not, and it has nothing to do with the elites. This has to do with what the Most High is doing. Okay? Now, let's see. I want to read something right here because the Most High gave Esau and the other nations their opportunity to rule. The Most High is fair, So for the most part, of course, he is being fair. He's giving them their opportunity, So, but see, the thing is with what I'm seeing with Esau and the other nations is they want their opportunity and then they want a do-over. They want to do all the things that they want to redo all the stuff they already did. Like they want to get raptured away so they don't have to pay for anything. But if they happen to be here, then they want to be able to, get rid of the vast majority of the population and then start all over again. They want to get rid of all the courts that they set up and then reestablish more courts. They want to be able to destroy our people for hundreds of years and then for the 7-year tribulation period, destroy our people again. It just starts to make like they just seem to think that they get to just run everything to crap and then just get a do-over. Hey, you know what? I don't like the way that panned out. Let's do that again, Most High. Can we get your people again? Can we destroy them one more time for 7 more years and then then at the end of that 7 year, during that 7-year period, that we're killing all of them and raping them and destroying them again? Then if they accept you, then it's all cool. Oh, and by the way, if we just say Jesus, we're good too. We don't have to pay for anything. We just get to, I'm sure you'll be cool with that, right, Most High? Like I said, when you start listening to these people, this is why you can't let Gentiles teach us what the scriptures say. They can't tell us which books are good and which ones aren't good. I see so many people still trying to fight and, about the 80 books. I get comments and whatever else. And when I always tell them, hey, prove it. Prove that that's all the Most High gave us. It's crickets, nothing, because they can't prove it. There's so much more information, and we need to learn how to look at this information through the Most High sends us the Holy Spirit in order to be able to really take this information in, internalize it, and say, wait, hold on, does that make any sense? Is this really something that the elites want, or is it something that the Most High wants? And then we compare it to different scriptures, different writings, and things of that matter. All right. Now I want to read 2 Baruch, chapter 13. I'm going to see if the Most High is planning on giving the other nations a do-over after, they screwed everything up already. Well, 2 Baruch 13 will start at 4. So that if ever those prosperous cities say, why has El Elohim brought upon us this retribution? Say unto them, you and those like you, who shall have seen this evil, this is the evil and retribution which is coming upon you and upon your people in its destined time, that the nations may be thoroughly smitten, And then they shall be in anguish. And if they say at that time, for how long? You will say to them, ye who have drunk the strained wine, drink ye also of its dregs, the judgment of the lofty one, who has no respect of persons. On this account he had aforetime no mercy on his own sons, but afflicted them as his enemies, because they sinned. Then therefore were they chastened, that they might be sanctified. But now, ye peoples and nations, ye are guilty, because ye have always trodden down the earth, and used the creation unrighteously. For I have always benefited you, and ye have always been ungrateful for the beneficence. So right there it's telling you, especially at number 10, be not a cancer on the earth. What did the Most High say about them? But now, ye peoples and nations, ye are guilty, because ye have always trodden down the earth. They've always trodden down the earth. They didn't care about nature. All they cared about was gold and silver and possessions. All they cared about was using their blessing, which was the sword at that time. See that? So this is telling you right now. Most High said, you got nothing nice coming. You got retribution coming. There's no do-overs. There's no, hey, I don't like the way that turned out. Hey, Most High, I don't feel that the party should be over. I think we should, continue the party and just keep on keeping your people at the bottom this entire time. So that now when the Most High is now starting to bring the pain and starting to bring his retribution, the people trying to say, this isn't the Most High. The Most High is all about love. It's why Jesus loves us all. Why Jesus says it's okay for us to treat these people like crap for, thousands of years. And we're never going to have to pay. In fact, when it's time to pay, I'm going to get raptured away. Come on, man. I said, it sounded really silly right now. It sounds very silly and ridiculous at this point. And like I said, right now, even this kind of goes with what I just said about as far as the depopulation and who he's going to save. Just take a look at Jeremiah 3:14 and 15. Turn, O backsliding children, saith the Lord, for I am married unto you, and I will take you, one of a city, and two of a family, and I will bring you to Zion, and I will give you pastors according to mine heart, which shall feed you with knowledge and understanding. So the Most High is going to give the people that he's saving pastors that are going to feed them with knowledge and understanding. They're going to bring the two sticks together. They're going to bring the records of the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom together in order for you to be able to understand the beginning all the way to the end, and not just concentrate on only two of the tribes and then say pretty much screw the other 10. It's only about the information from the two. And if I can't fit, I'm going to try to make sure I fit every single thing in history from the beginning to the end with just the records from two tribes. And if you try to use anything else, you're going off and you're going to hell and you're leading other people to hell. I said, please, man, save it and go do you. And I said, and I'll do me, and I'll see and we'll let the Most High decide. Because ultimately he's the one that lets you know who he's dealing with and who he's not. So it's all about who the Most High is blessing and who the Most High is giving knowledge and understanding to. And I've seen like a lot of comments, and I'm seeing a lot of people, and it's a blessing to see the Most High is opening many people's eyes to a lot of other information, and it's beautiful to see. I learned from many of the subscribers when they email me, or they leave comments and they'll leave videos, and I'll go check out the videos, and it's amazing some of the stuff that they leave. So as I said, it's a beautiful thing. I'm learning too. I'm still here to learn. I haven't reached a pinnacle to where I can't learn. I learn from many people. So when people act like they can't learn anything else because they know everything, those are probably people you probably want to turn around and walk away from. So because the Most High isn't that simple. All right. And right here is a couple of pictures of the other devastation that's going on. I think this is in Arkansas yesterday. And they were talking about how in the next 7 to 10 days, there's more rain, more flooding. It's overtopping levees. There's more rain coming upstream that's coming downstream. And it's going to even, think of the insurance companies. How are they going to pay for all of this destruction? Think of these farming towns. They're not going to get in. Like, that was something that Lisa Cabrera talked about. I loved what she said, was that, many of these farmers aren't going to get any money in 2019. And then she made reference to, like how they did the black farmers a long time ago when they gave them bad seed on purpose. And there was never any, retribution. There was never any recompense, when they gave the black farmers bad seeds on purpose in order to ruin them financially. Well, the Most High is ruining them right back. But see, as these things are happening, the other nations are trying to play it off like, not really covering it that much, or not talking about it that much. And that should tell you something. We'll talk about that right now. We'll take a look at a couple of other pictures here. You see like the overflowing of the river right here. And more water, more rain is coming. So you think just all this weather manipulation. No one's more of a manipulator than the Most High. He's the one that manipulates everything. Man is nothing. The Most High has control of absolutely everything. Okay, we're talking right here about the corn and these silos that were filled up to overflowing, like your 7 years of plenty. And now these silos, the corn is ruined from the water, as you get these fields that are still inundated with water. I mean, this is all the Most High. People don't want to believe these other nations, these Gentiles. They're gonna see real soon that the Most High wasn't playing when He said, "Vengeance is mine," and that you're gonna have to pay. What you've done to them is gonna happen to you. It might have seemed like it took so long that it wasn't gonna happen, but it's undoubtedly happening now. And then tornadoes. The Most High has been unleashing tornadoes, and the Midwest as well, and even to the east. So He's unleashing more devastation, as you can see right here. Right, just going through and just destroying neighborhoods, destroying some houses, and leaving some okay, or untouched. It's like the fingerprint of the Most High. Destroy this one, but not that one. Just like He did when we were in Goshen, when there was just death and destruction happening all around us, but His people were protected. So I'm seeing it right here. Like I said, just think about these insurance companies. How are they going to pay for all this devastation all over the country? Just going to end up probably bankrupting some of them as well. And of course, they want to make it sound like it's, God wouldn't do things like this. But the Most High, the one in the Bible, yes, He will. He's done it before, and He's doing it again. And I was going to a couple of events and going to a promotion today at a school, and we're at a stadium, and there's just thousands and thousands and thousands of people, and I'm just sitting there just looking at the people, and I'm just kind of like looking at them thinking like, how many people understand what's really going on? When I talk to people, I ask them, hey, do you know what's going on in the middle of the country? They're like, no, I really don't know. Do you understand what's going on with the food prices? No, I really don't know. But if you ask about the NBA finals, they know all about that. You ask about some golf tournament or something like that, they know about that. About football team and who they're going to draft and this and that, they know about that. Trades, in their favorite sport or baseball season, things like that, they know about that. But, I'm just sitting there just looking at people, and it's like, it's just zombies. We're just now, after the promotion, they're just looking for a reason to have parties and just forget about all of their problems, drink it away. It's crazy, absolutely crazy. We were going to meet some people at South Coast Plaza. It's a big mall down here in Southern California. And I think I parked in front of, I want to say it was Neiman Marcus or one of these stores. And I just sat there for about 20, 30 minutes just watching the people coming in and coming out, looking at the all the Teslas, the $80 to $100,000 cars, looking at the Rolls Royces, rolling up, and looking at these people, walking out with their fancy bags and fancy clothes, and looking at the old dude with the young Moabite woman. He's carrying like all of her bags for her. And then they're just getting ready, and he's an old dude with this young woman. So we know she isn't there for the love, of course. And it's just amazing because you sit there and just look at them and just like, how many of these people understand, who know who we are as a people, know of our plight as a people, and know that the Most High is about to, destroy this place. And you realize not many. That's why when you start doing that thing about, I'm going to take you to of a city, let me read it back again. When you start to see this, I mean, when you start to realize that, when you just think about the people who know any of this information, you're about to turn the whole heart about the 3 and 14, turn back sliding children, saith the Lord, for I am married unto you, and I will take you one of a city, two of a family, and I will bring you to Zion. Never, never has this been more applicable to the society that we see today. They think it's just as easy as saying Jesus and I'm good. I don't have to know anything, study anything. But we all know that that's not true. And that's why it's so important. And I will give you pastors according to mine heart. The Most High is going to pick who he anoints to teach the people. It has nothing to do with how long you've been in it, how great your precepts are, and how our precepts have been established for 10, 20 years, and who the hell are you to come in and change things? The Most High is showing you that he's going to choose. He's going to pick the people he's going to use to feed the nation with knowledge and understanding. So let's go back over here real quick. So even this right here, now this makes so much more sense when you start thinking about, when you just do your everyday walk of life, and you start to just look at around you and think like, how many people know that the Most High's people, have gone through slavery, have had their land taken away, have had their identity taken away, had to have all their resources taken away, and then many of these people are enjoying them. And then the Most High is now coming back. He's already here. He's already here. He's already, laying the groundwork for this destruction. How many people really understand this? Then you start to realize that it's like people who are in this truth are a very slim and small and minute number. Look at that, Luke 18 and 8 and 9. I tell you that he will avenge them speedily. Nevertheless, when the Son of Man cometh, shall he find faith on the earth? And he spake this parable unto certain which trusted in themselves that they were righteous and despised others. Is he going to find faith on the earth? Very little. And this is why it goes back to the whole depopulation, because he's only chosen very few people to get this knowledge and understanding. So like I said, it's not the elites that has this plan. This is the Most High. He's already showing who he's planning on saving just by the knowledge and understanding that he's already imparting to very few people. So as we watch the news and we watch things starting to transpire here, we see the Most High, we see the hand of God coming over this land, and him getting ready to unleash even more hell and destruction. But I'm going to read a little bit more here I'm going to read a little bit of 2 Baruch one more time again. I'm going to start at 7. And if they say at that time, for how long? You will say to them, ye who have drunk the strained wine, drink ye also of its dregs. The judgment of the lofty one, who has no respect of persons. On this account he had aforetime no mercy on his own sons, but afflicted them as his enemies, because they sinned. Then therefore were they chastened, that they might be sanctified. But now, ye peoples and nations, ye are guilty, because ye have always trodden down the earth, and used the creation unrighteously. For I have always benefited you, and ye have always been ungrateful for the beneficence. That's the whole truth that you're seeing right now, in a nutshell. All praises to the Most High, Yahweh. Acknowledgement to the earthly mother, who is wisdom, who is the Holy Spirit. Acknowledgement again to Yahweh Shai. Shalom.